Hi everybody, my name is Jessy and thank you so much for joining me today. Now, it is no secret that I have had more than my fair share of setbacks in my 28 years of life. I have no doubt that in my next 28 years of life I will continue to have setbacks. But something that I've learned over the years is how to overcome them. But I wanted to share an insight into how I deal with setbacks, and hopefully it might help you in your setbacks or future setbacks, not to be so afraid of them. So I really struggled with being able to find a job when I graduated. That was probably one of the difficult things that I experienced. I was watching a lot of my friends who were in different professions looking for jobs and finding them seemingly easily, and it can be quite a difficult thing. So one of my first jobs as a graduate came with a lot of fantastic opportunities, and I made one of my very best friends through that. She was my manager, but the setback that I experienced in this job is actually after she left this workplace, and I was now under a very different manager who didn't lead by kindness or collaboration, instead led by fear and poor delegation, essentially. Despite all the opportunities I was given and all the opportunities that I took, I ultimately had to leave that job without another job to think about. The reason that they gave for my abrupt leaving was because I wanted to pursue other things, when in reality it was because I couldn't deal with the management style anymore. As a person who is me, and if you're anything like me, you try and blame yourself for a lot of these things, but through a lot of work I have managed to accept that it's not always been me. So the big setback that I experienced from that is that I had to start all over again. I felt very, very depressed about it. I felt very ashamed because I kept on thinking to myself, could I have hung on longer? And how do I now start again? But the one thing that really got me through that moment was this idea that I still had an opportunity to find what I was looking for, and that despite that setback I still had myself that I believed in. I hadn't allowed myself yet to stop believing in myself. Another setback that I experienced in my life is in your relationships. So I have been in a long-term relationship now for almost 9 years, but something that not everybody knows is that myself and my partner went through a breakup. It was a really big setback in my life because I had dreamt of having a partner who I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and I absolutely adore my partner Scott. He's the most amazing human being in the world. We were dealing with a lot of personal and professional things at the time, and so everything was incredibly difficult in our lives. I'm going to skip forwards really quick and say that we did get back together. You know, for 3 months we dealt with that full breakup. You have to know that it's not just the case of it was an easy breakup. It was a very hard breakup because we lived together. So again, the depression hit. It was incredibly difficult. It's really hard personally to be able to deal with a setback like that, especially when time is not on your side necessarily. But how did I deal with it? I woke up one day and realized that if I was going to stay in bed all the time and cry about the things that I didn't have, I was going to miss and not enjoy the things that I did have. Also, this idea that, again, through this all, I still had myself, and that I really needed to just get up, show up for myself, and show myself that I still mattered. Nothing changed. I just needed to decide whether what I wanted in life was as realistic as it was. So whilst that was probably the biggest setback of my personal life, it also allowed me to grow a heck of a lot and discover things about myself. Those are 2 examples I wanted to give about setbacks and how I dealt with them, and I want to talk to you a little bit about setbacks and this whole idea that if a setback happens, you have two choices to make. One, you let that setback consume you and overwhelm you and hold you back even further, or you allow yourself to grieve a little bit for what could have been, but then realize that there are so much better things that can be, and still You still have yourself through all of this, and that is so important, is that you don't lose faith in yourself and that belief that you can achieve everything that you still want to. Stop seeing the negativity in setbacks, instead see the positivity that you can by being able to grow. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay good to yourself, and I'll see you later. Bye.